Congress to allot some $86 billion to kick off Trump's mass deportation plan. Speaking to NewsNation, Homan defended the ask, saying you can't put a price tag on national security.
All we're trying to do is enforce the laws enacted by Congress. Immigration and Customs Enforcement is not making this up. They're enforcing the laws written and enacted by Congress, signed by the President. And this is what the Congress should fund us to do. They can't give us a set of laws telling the ICE to enforce these laws and not give us the money to make that happen. So it's Congress's responsibility to fund this, and I think they will.
He says it's going to be worth it in the long haul. So will it? Joining us now is former Homeland Security Department Advisor Charles Marino. Great to have you here.
I am.
So will it be worth it in the long haul? It's quite an investment.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's going to take a lot of money to clean this mess up. Let's remember, we shouldn't be in this position in the first place. This is an issue that, in large part, cost Democrats the presidential election, as many of us have been saying that it would, because of its attachments to the economy, to safety and security, increasing crime. So it really did cost them. But, you know, I think a lot of this money here can be offset if you look at the billions and billions that have been spent so far by the Biden administration for entitlements going to illegal immigrants. You have billions going to non-governmental organizations, which have served as an extension of DHS and Health and Human Services when it comes to moving these illegal immigrants around the country. And then I got something that I like to talk about, and that is, if sanctuary cities don't want to work with ICE, then you know what? They should no longer be receiving federal public safety grants. If they want to thumb their nose at public safety and not work with the federal government to provide for that safety and security, then why should federal taxpayers continue to funnel money to these cities? So I think this $86 billion can be offset, and in the long run, I agree with Tom Homan, it will save taxpayers money.
You're not the only one who's saying this costs Democrats the election, likely, and part of Biden's legacy, without a doubt, is going to be the open border. Southwest border encounters, though, are actually down 60% from May to November this year, just before the election. So, you know, it was a great talking point for Republicans, but things did start to trend in the right direction. Is the completion of the wall needed, some are asking?
It is. I think there should be a layered approach to security, regardless of what the current numbers are. Let's remember, too, regarding those numbers, Anna, that we're in the middle of a transition here. We have a president-elect that's returning to office, and the messaging has begun. President Trump, Tom Homan, and others are playing a big role in that in terms of what the priorities are going to be for this upcoming administration. And a big part of that are these deportations, starting with criminal elements that are in the country, national security threats, visa overstays. So that messaging is helping to drive down those numbers, because as we know, the Biden administration continues to undercut our Homeland Security, up to and including what you were talking about, selling parts of the border wall. So we need physical barriers, technology, and then once and for all, let's get CBP and ICE back to doing what they all signed up to do, and that's enforce the immigration and border laws of this country.
Well, you know, many are championing what the president-elect is doing alongside the border czar, Tom Homan, saying they're going to get started on day one. But it's not all going to be pretty, right? We're concerned about family separations. In fact, some of the illegal immigrants that are here have children who are, in fact, citizens. And so we're hearing from Homan this week. He said, look, it's parenting 101 to try to stay together. And what the best decision for you to make would be to self-deport. Do you think people are going to start paying attention to that with 3 weeks between now and the time Trump takes office?
There will be a segment of the population that decides to just go back to their countries of origin or another place and self-deport. You know, a big part of this story, Anna, as it unfolds, is going to be the search for the approximate 350,000 missing unaccompanied minors within the United States that Health and Human Services can't account for. So there's certainly a lot of work that's got to be done. This is not an easy issue, as we all know, to tackle and to solve, but it's something that's got to be done for the safety and security of the American people. I think as a country, it's been determined enough is enough, as they say.
Well, as far as our northern border goes, high-ranking Canadian officials meeting with top Trump aides at Mar-a-Lago to talk about border security and also the potential impact of tariffs. Yeah. What do you think? Are tariffs necessary to secure our northern border?
No, I don't think so. I think, again, the messaging was well received, certainly by Canada. Mexico will be a little more complicated. We've always had a complicated relationship with Mexico, especially as our #1 trading partner.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.